there are similarities in how the show got started to Succession, in so much as it's a show about a family-run business and a empire. But we feel like that's pretty much where the comparisons stop, because our show in season 1 goes into...
Isn't as good.
It doesn't have as many Emmys. It doesn't have as many Emmys. That's what we know for sure.
We're going to start with something like the opening question, because there are a lot of people who haven't seen Royal Crackers yet. So what's going on with Royal Crackers? What is it about? Because you Google it and everyone is talking about some kind of Succession, but with a whole different tone, of course.
Evan, why don't you take that one?
Sure. Yeah. I think Royal Crackers did it kind of. There are similarities in how the show got started to Succession, in so much as it's a show about a family-run business and a empire. But we feel like that's pretty much where the comparisons stop, because our show in season 1 goes into...
Isn't as good.
It doesn't have as many Emmys. It doesn't have as many Emmys. That's what we know for sure. But it goes into a lot of, it's a springboard into this world. But it's really not what this show is about. I don't think you finish Succession and then you're like, well, what's the next show on my...
Yeah, right. I'm going to go with Royal Crackers. Yeah, of course not.
That would be nice.
Yeah, we should be marketing.
It could be a marketing point, actually.
If you liked this...
I feel like we're closer to like an Arrested Development. It's like... I think families families are a great place to tell comedy from. I've worked with Jason for a while, and he likes to sort of investigate and interrogate those family relationships. And, I think like Simpsons is interesting, a family who separates and goes in their different directions during the day, but if you want to throw some gasoline on those family relationships, then put money and power into play. And I think now there's just this constant well that you can go to find conflict and then make fun of these dum-dums.
Well, that's a good point, actually. It could be a selling point, the Succession one, but just making more funnier, and the gasoline point actually is kind of funny from the point of view. Well, here in Argentina, we actually love a lot of adult TV shows. You mentioned The Simpsons. Most of the population from about my age grew up watching the earlier seasons of The Simpsons and other questionable shows that are probably not suitable for kids. Not gonna lie, we watch a lot of adult TV shows.
I watched them
maybe
too.
Too many.
Yeah,
maybe too many when we were kind of young. For all of you, what was your inspiration behind Royal Crackers in terms of those shows you used to watch when you were younger?
For me, it started with, the first animated show I remember loving was The Simpsons, Ren and Stimpy soon after that, and South Park was a big one too. But I have to say, and I think because it's not the cool thing to say, I get it, but it's just the truth, is like Family Guy was the where I was like, oh, that's what I want to do for a living. Like it just became like a very clear route painted in front of me of what would make me happy in my creative endeavors, and hopefully make a living doing. So like Family Guy for me was the biggest inspiration.
For you, Seth?
Good question. I think I'm lucky in that, I grew up, I think, during the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons. So those aren't irreverent, but for sure were a babysitter for me, both on Saturday mornings and then after school. So that really made me love the sort of form. Honestly, I think what we're doing now in contemporary adult comedy and sort of adult animation is just like so interesting. So I don't know that I would like call out. I like Family Guy, you know, I think Family Guy is really good. Simpsons, South Park, those are all like incredible shows. I think like what people are doing now, pushing the form, Blue-Eyed Samurai, Scavenger Rain, this amazing show called Royal Crackers. I think like I'm just glad to see the medium being pushed forward, and like smart people who can go do other things which we would traditionally push them into maybe like half-hour sitcoms are now, expressing themselves through animation.
And for you, Evan, you have a point of view from dysfunctional families, actually.
Yeah, I would say like for animation, it's The Simpsons and South Park, but also there's a lot I have a lot of live action inspiration comedically. Mr. Show, The Larry Sanders Show, those are two that definitely I feel like just seem to come on and for me at least was just a light bulb went off and just thought, wow, the limits of what you can do with comedy had been pushed, and so those are some of my big inspirations for sure.
Oh, I was just say the Steve Harvey Show. Evans is always talking.
Yeah, right. And then the Steve Harvey Show for sure, and
Family Feud. Now the current iteration of Family Feud.
Jerry Springer was cool, but Steve Wilkos really seemed to hit the nail on the head.
He got it. He got it right.
Okay, there are so many I know because of they had come to Argentina and Latin America, and so many others I don't know. So I'm gonna fake it until I say yes, sure. But for animation, you have a really unique point of view. You have a very flashy animation. You came from a Flash animator, actually. Why did you choose to go this way with the animation in Royal Crackers?
Because I wanted it to feel like, for lack of a better phrase, like I wanted to be able to look under the hood of the car and understand what I was looking at. Okay. It wouldn't feel too alien to me. The process of animating this, I look at a shot of the show or a scene in the show and I understand what's happening and how it all works, and where there's tweens versus a frame by frame animation, all that stuff. It just gave me a boost of confidence to be able to work in a software that I knew like the back of my hand because I've been working with it for so many years.
Okay, great. We have the first season. We get to know the characters. When you understand each other, how they function between each other. What can we expect now in season 2? You have the setup ground from this family. What's going on in season 2? What are we exploring?
I think we learn more about Senior and the past of Royal Crackers. We get a sense of and really how that past informs present day Steve and Theo. And then we spend time, a lot of time with some of our supporting characters. We spend more time with Rachel and with Al and Darby, and just kind of build out the world of these characters a lot more.
Okay, great. I have a kind of personal question, actually, maybe from your point of view, from all of you, about this industry. It's not easy to get a second season, especially nowadays. Everything gets canceled right away if it doesn't click. How do you see the adult animation industry nowadays?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. Evan, if you have something to say, go for it. Or Seth, I want to think about that one.
I mean, I would say it does feel like trepidatious. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of stuff that seems like it's canceled, and
some of it I'll go on the record and say is borderline criminal. It should be criminalized to literally write off people's hard work. I mean, I just think that's insane.
Yeah, it's I also think it's just like there's so many things that are happening in just entertainment industry, and everything's so bifurcated, and it's hard to break through. And I think some of this those challenges are partially why I think some of it's happening. So I don't know. It just feels like a lot of times you feel pretty powerless and you're just along for the ride. It's frustrating.
There's also some serenity in that too. Like there's not a whole lot we can do about it. But
yes,
I feel like I'll say something positive about it, which is like, when we started Royal Crackers, we were getting people just off of the trailer, off of the key art alone, like without having seen a single episode, people were ripping us apart. I have my own theories as to why that was, but
it was Evan.
It was
mostly me. Yeah, it's mostly me.
You got to stay off those.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah.
You like second season though, right?
Well,
I do like the
you
second
made it.
season.
Well, yeah, but it's just what's kind of nice is that there are more opportunities than ever. There's just this business is more widespread than ever, and that more people can hopefully make a sustainable wage from this industry. It's much as a result, it's much harder to stand out. But as now we're going into our second season, and it feels like people are coming around on the show, and we're seeing a lot more positivity and people rallying behind it. Those two, that feels so much better. It feels like we've really earned that, because man, it was hard. It was hard to read some of the things that I was reading in the first initial few episodes.
You're changing now. HBO is going to change to Max, and the catalog is going to be a bit different. Did that affect you in some way in season 2? You had to make any changes on the way, or was it all the same?
Seth, that's
no, all the same. I mean, we still air linear on Adult Swim, which is still a sort of valuable commodity for the larger Warner Brothers universe. And then we're folded into their Max sort of ecosystem. For us specifically, we do better with the Adult Swim people. So when we're sort of directed towards Adult Swim, we do well. And then when we're put on the Max sort of mothership, it's harder to find. I think everyone sort of is having that same challenge of how to stand out. When you're a linear show, there's one option at one time, which I find comfort in. But when we get put on Max, the larger Max ship, sometimes it can be harder to find. So it's just about trying to find your fans, identify your fans, keep them engaged, hopefully cross platforms. But we're doing pretty well. We do really well on the linear channel, and then sort of room for improvement, but still well enough on the big Max.
Okay, thank you, Seth. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Evan, for this interview. It's been amazing. I saw the first 3 episodes of season 2. Love the third one especially. Love them both, but love the third one. And
which one was the third one?
The one with I think it was the third one, because I don't know if it had a wrong tag, but it was the one with the influencer, with Deb going to this special place where she was doing the spinning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice! Very cool.
Yes.
I think that would be one of my favorites of this season too, for sure.
Okay, definitely. Great. Well, yeah. It was a really funny one. Congratulations on this season 2. You really deserve this. Royal Crackers is amazing. So congratulations.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.